to Eve Online for Friday. We're back. Actually, before we get any further, I'd like to know, since we finished all the tutorial missions, all like the starter, kind of showing the breadth of what is in the game. I'm open to hearing some suggestions of whether we want to have Friday be like a basically. Right now we're doing Eve Online, but I was thinking maybe we could alternate between Eve Online and maybe something like SWTOR or Star Wars, The Old Republic, or SWTOR for short, or something along those lines too, just so that we can get a few, like we can have it, we can get, what do you call it, some kind of like having Friday be more of a general MMO day, kind of like generally a day where we can go through. Because I know it's been out for a long while, and I keep looking at it and keep looking at our schedule here. So I'm like, should I take a day from Kimchi because we do it 4 days a week, or should I alternate with Eve Online? So you guys let me know. I mean, we could even make it MMO Monday instead of MMO Friday, or we could just leave Friday as Eve and then maybe have Wednesday is Star Wars: The Old Republic. I was thinking of making kind of like how we made a new character for this account. We could have a whole new character for Star Wars: The Old Republic as well, and just kind of have fun with it that way. So we get we kind of get some variance here. Because I think that I think it'd be fun to kind of have. Almost kind of like, I kind of want to get a channel to have a very wide. I kind of want to get to where the stream has a wide breadth of content that you guys can enjoy. So just let me know what you think. If you have a preference on if any days, we call it, or if you have actually a game I didn't mention that you want to recommend. I know some people recommend some single player games, which could be fun. I think we're saying mostly sandbox for the moment. Sandbox or MMO at the moment. But if I really like the look of the single player game, I might go buy it. So I'm not going to take any more time starting off to talk about it. Just wanted to kind of give a disclaimer. So if you have an opinion, feel free to let me know. Feel free to let me know during the stream or whenever you can get to me. And see what you think. And now what we should continue with is I'm going to show you today, after we finish taking the rest of our stuff over here, an example of a security mission. This stream series has been mostly focused toward kind of people newer to the game. And once we get our minerals moved over, which actually, hold on, we need to make sure we have nothing in our stuff. Okay, we don't. Let's go ahead and set our marker at Arcanius, so set destination, and also check the map just to see if there's maybe something I don't know going on. Actually, we are getting some interest going on here. Someone got actually potted over here and there, Tudaki and Komakar. So we need to watch out for that. Because one pod killed, and that's one pod killed. So we're not going that direction, so we shouldn't be worried, but just something to keep in mind. It's like a weather report. You want to make sure you know what you're going into before you go into it and blind. That's not what you want to do. It's funny, I feel like I check that map before I go anywhere in EVE Online more than I check the weather in real life. Alright, so, we got rid of my marker, did it? Oh no, it's up there. So warp within 0.
Warp drive active.
Now, I would normally not recommend going around in Tier 1 Industrial. I would typically mention if you're going to try to do freight, you may want to do industry first until you can get a higher tier industrial, or a later on industrial, because tier 1s tend to be prime targets. There's not much they can really do to defend themselves against relatively small ganks. So my recommendation would be the mission that we're about to do is one of the good avenues to branch off into if you're new to the game. Which is, you'll hear the term ratting. Now ratting specifically more so is if you, by scanning down using your scanners, so like probe scanner right here, to scan down combat anomalies. So technically that mission running is technically one thing, but this is the security missions are almost basically the same, because they're basically go here, destroy that, and then stuff like that. So warp within 0.
Warp drive active.
So this will kind of get you kind of familiar with that kind of idea. So technically it's not perfectly an example of ratting, but we're not really focused on going after an actual anomaly right now. Now, if you were going to go after an anomaly, my best advice to you would be, once you have the anomaly found, however you find it, whether it's through normal scanning or whether you have a specific scanning ship you go out and find, or whatever, however you find it. Once you actually have the anomaly,
Docking request accepted.
A destroyer is a great option, especially if you play Caldari. Destroyer with long-range missiles or hybrid turrets can pretty much handle any ratting or most of your ratting issues that you'll be doing. Now, if you go into outside of HiSec, you may want to compromise to get. Hold on, let's go to item hanger and drag all this into there. Now, you could have also taken a Venture, because it has an actual full ore hanger, which is a special own divided hanger, and it's got about 5,000. And then it has a normal hanger too, so we may have been able to fit this little extra over. But we're not worried about that right now. So what we're worried about is that basically we're going to have to come back and get this. In order to do that, we're going to have a Corvette in the other thing. Or you could go back in a pod. I almost feel like just going in a pod just to show you how that would work. Okay, so now that we got it in here, let's go ahead and undock. Actually, I probably will. I'll show you about going in a pod. Navigating in a pod is pretty much the same. Not really any difference, but if you do get destroyed, you were already you've been destroyed, if that makes sense. Like, there's not a second stage. Turn through Stargate. You can also take a shuttle. So set destination. And then warp within 0.
Warp drive active.
I do like the look of all the Caldari ships. I've probably mentioned this so much through the series. Consistently, I really do like their design. I don't know why space has always to me come off as very gray. Like oranges and blues, like gray, like rusty oranges if you're going for like a Dead Space feel, like oranges, blacks, like that, those like kind of like that kind of range of colors are blue and grays. For some reason, like orange and black or blue and gray comes off as very spacey colors to me. I don't know why. It's probably just because games have used them. Now, if you're in Galente space, Galente space typically tends to have a kind of like how this right here, where it's kind of almost kind of, well, it's kind of yellow green here, but Galente space almost has appearance of green in it. Some of the Galente space that I've passed through, and green has been green would be an interesting color to kind of have. There hasn't been that I know of that many things that maybe associated space with green. So I imagine that could be kind of cool. But I can't think of the context of why one would do that. Maybe it was a movie about a space disease or a game about a space disease.
Docking permission
Kind of that,
requested.
kind of like a sickly kind of green. Could kind of be something that could work. Let's see here.
Docking request accepted.
Should be getting taken into the station. Now that we have all the stuff here, I'm gonna just actually do the Corvette just to show you how to do it. So, if you let's move all that in there. So, item hanger. Okay, so one of the reasons why we could theoretically have just like kind of done back and forth with the Corvette, but I feel like that'd be a little exploitive. So the better thing is to just try to do all your hauling with a industrial, not necessarily a tier 1, but with an industrial. Or you could, if you want to be brave, do a shuttle. Because the shuttle's like 2,000. You know what? Someone probably built a shuttle and is probably feeling really down. So, because no one's buying their shuttle. So I'm going to actually see if there's a shuttle here and see if I can stimulate the shuttle economy here. See if there's anyone who's out there making Caldari shuttles. Oh, that's industrial ships. Hold on, not industrial ships. Shuttles. Caldari shuttle. View details. Not one person making a shuttle here. That's a shame. This would have been their lucky day. Someone's paying. Hold on. Someone's asking for 241,000. That's an inflated price. That's a super inflated price. I wonder if someone just made a different faction shuttle. No? It's always a chance. Nope, no one's made any shuttles here. Well, I was gonna do a shuttle just to show you guys what it was like, unless we have a shuttle. So because you could, before the kind of Corvettes, kind of complementary Corvettes, you kind of had to use shuttles or or just travel in your pod. So let's go ahead and dump this stuff off. So I want to kind of give you more of the original kind of feel. Wait, what? Oh, we already dropped it off. I was gonna say, did we? Okay. Hold on. Really, nobody had a shuttle? That's a shame. It's a real shame. We'll go in the pod. We'll show you how to travel in the pod because I just don't want to use the complimentary Corvette. We already used one for that one mission because I wanted to show you how you can save money and send it in to get blown up. And it's not a restricted ship. But that was the one we started with. So it wasn't a complimentary Corvette. It was the one we started with. So everyone would have that free ship to kind of throw away. So you know what we're going to do? We're just going to exit the ship. So leave ship. We're going to show you about flying around in a pod. We're going to be brave. We're going to be brave and try to go back and get the Merlin with just our pod. Old school, kind of. If there was a way back in the day, like if there's a way back in the day to actually get a complimentary Corvette and I didn't know, then I was playing, you would call it EVE Online wrong for a long time. But as far as I know, there was no way to get getting personal shuttle was complimentary Corvette somewhat new. Okay, so we set a destination. Oh, we're at Archeo. Oops, sorry. Okay, we need to get rid of our destination. Set destination, there we go. And then warp within 0. So as you can see, it's not going to be very intimidating to change control. Like, it's not. There's no different in control. As you saw probably in that one mission where you have to get potted, or not potted, but your ship destroyed. Well, your ship destroyed and then put into your pod. And sent off in your pod, but the controls aren't any different. The only thing you can't really do is you can't attack. You don't have any modules, so it's even simpler. However, I would not recommend just traveling around in your pod if you have cybernetics, because if you die with cybernetics on, they're gone. They're just gone. We got a what?
Drive active.
Ship flying over there. So that would not be a good use of your cybernetics. And you also, I don't believe, have any storage really, right? You have 0. I knew it was going to be either 0 or just like maybe 5. I thought maybe they might have had 5. I don't know why. Maybe I was just thinking they may have had something, but no, it's nothing.
Docking permission requested.
And then don't touch these yellow cargo containers, by the way. Those will put a
Docking
suspect tag on you.
accepted.
And when you get a suspect tag on you, you can get killed by anybody. And it's not going to... The Concord won't do anything about it. Concord, the police forces, won't do anything about it. Because you're basically a suspected criminal, so them going after you is totally okay. In the eyes of Concord. So now we can just enter the ship. Now you could just move all your ships this way if you don't want to use an industrial. It just will take more time. So make active. And as simple as that. And then we just leave. And this is the one, if I remember, with all the fitting, right? Yeah, this one's are really outfitted. Before we leave, what we need to really do is make sure we have all the ammo reloaded. Because if I accidentally move that ammo out, I'm going to be in for a bad surprise. Okay. Now let's go ahead and go back. Undock. We're going to do a combat mission we could probably do it in our Merlin. We could either do it in our Merlin or Cormorant. I haven't showed off the Cormorant, so I might show off the Cormorant. I don't know. We'll see. You don't necessarily want to ruin your reputation with pirate factions. But that is if you want their stuff or want to do stuff with them later on. But it's not going to really bother you if you have no interest in going into low sec. And low sec, from everything I've noticed, is typically not as useful as being able to, not as useful. Low sec mission running. I don't know. Someone out there might swear by it, but I don't know. I don't feel it.
Drive active.
I feel like if you're gonna do mission running, high sec is more than enough. It's just you just have to do, because you might have to go different places. You want to be nearby NPC stations to get the missions. You don't really have a high likelihood of having the different factions hate you, which is a big problem. Which actually, speaking of, I can show you a big problem that you may start running into if you do a lot of starter missions. So you can go to all the other college starter areas. So we went to the State War Academy, so we did a starter area. There's 3 different starter areas for every faction. If you start doing those extensively, work to there. If you start doing those extensively, this reputation is going to fall through the floor, especially with the direct enemy. So Galente and the Caldari hate each other, and then the Minmatar and the Amar hate each other. If you work with if you work with the Amar, Minmatar will hate you. If you work with Caldari, Galente will hate you. Amar will kind of like Caldari, and Minmatar will kind of like Galente, vice versa. So keep in mind, because if you do keep doing those academy missions, which pretty much once you've done them once, they're pretty easy to do again.
Docking permission
Especially since you'll have just
requested.
more
Docking
stuff.
request accepted.
But the academy missions can really tank your approval. And once you get below a certain level of approval, they're going to attack you with, I believe, their gate guns. Hold on, or not let you do any missions. Or I might be getting mixed up with the Trigvalian thing. I haven't gotten fortunately, I've never gotten down to this limit. So yeah, entering. So you'll be attacked when entering space controlled by the Kaldari if you're -5. Agents restricted if you're -2. Factional warfare can participate in factional warfare on behalf of them if you're at least neutral. And then, as you can see, on different agents and stuff like that, you get access to better and better agents. So we can't actually access level 3 until we reach up to here. So, good thing to keep in mind. And then you got epic arcs, which the Greastas actually have an epic arc right here. So that is something that you're pushing yourself away from if you keep attacking the Greastas. And that's the one problem about the that's probably the worst thing about the Kaldari is they're pirates. The pirates that they mostly deal with are have their own epic arc. Whereas something like the Amar pirate, the pirates in the I forgot if it was I forgot who the Blood Raider attacked, because I haven't played many other factions too much. I think it's either Amar or the Minmatar get attacked by Blood Raider Covenant. I can't quite remember, but they don't have an epic arc. So, and then another one gets attacked by the Angel Pirates, and the other one goes attacked by the Serpentis, which they're not on here because he hasn't encountered them quite yet. The Angel Cartel, and then Serpentis is another one. You can also check epic arcs, I believe, in the mission activities. The agency. You should be able to check it in the agency, I believe. Epic arcs. So as you can see, everyone who gives one, they're going to have a little flag over here. Angel Cartel does have one. Now, I believe there's a way to get them otherwise, but I haven't messed around with pirates pretty much. I have one character that messed around with pirates, and I played them years ago. Bloodstained Stars is considered the new player arc, and actually, at least according to their website, if you're within the first 30 days of playing, they generally discourage people from attacking you. On their website, it's saying if you're along this arc and you're within the first 30 days of playing, to not necessarily attack someone who's going on this epic arc. I don't know how hard and fast that rule is enforced. But that is something to keep in mind, that people might just stray away from messing with you. If you're newer, they're probably not going to stray away from you though if you have been playing the game for a while. So I don't know. That game the game environment changes over time, so that's very much a fluid thing. Alright, so let's go ahead and show. Now, you're going to get loyalty points. And loyalty points, basically, you can use for a little loyalty point store, which, here we go. And this is another reason why I bring up the Greastas. The Greastas have where you can get one of their ships, which shoots missiles and drones. And so is really, really well liked. Or, has missiles and drones, and is really well liked. So, unless you want to buy it off for a pretty exorbitant price from somebody, then you watch out about making them hate you. You gotta have to kind of be settled that you're probably not going to try to get that through any other way than maybe buying it, or simply finding someone who can manufacture it for you for a significantly uninflated price, and then babysit it. So you got like cosmetic stuff, and then you have money pack, different stuff. You could get this contains Cormorant, Merlin, Procure, Caracal. Pretty much has like different stuff. And then a Drake. Which I've heard a lot of people are not fans. Hold on. Cancel. Ah! Close current tab. Oh, I actually had made it. I had never actually put a little tab thing there. I never actually practiced. I normally only keep one tab at a time. So let's go for the bonus reward by doing this in a quick amount of time. We're gonna try to do it in the Merlin. I want to see if I can settle and do it with a Merlin. It shouldn't be too difficult to do it because we're in a pretty well equipped Merlin. I'd recommend a destroyer. It's also a level 1 mission. I'd recommend a destroyer for most of them. There actually is, I believe, a guide out there that tells you all the ships for each tier, basically, and of thing you're dealing with, a mission you're dealing with. So warp within 0 there.
Warp drive active.
So that's something to keep in mind. I feel like the stream's bit rate is going a little bit in and out lately. I want to check how the sound's doing too. Actually, it seems like the stream is on my end. It's actually, hold on. See, while I'm looking at the stream. Oh, it's really slow. See, while I'm looking at the stream. Sound seems to be working all right though. Okay, hold on. Now that's normally when I check on the stream, it really makes it really messes with the bit rate or the video. So it should be getting better in a minute. So let's go ahead and jump. Generally, if you're actually playing on your own, I wouldn't take such long breaks at gates because that's where someone's going to be farming, or not farming, but getting ready to gank you. That's where they're going to do it. Okay, we just got one location. You know, one thing we didn't check is this map, whether we went to somewhere where people got destroyed. We actually went to one of the places where someone's been podded. One pod kill in the last hour. There's someone over here, so maybe, just one. That doesn't really sound like someone was ganking. That sounds like maybe someone blew up. Disgruntled King hideout. Okay, a former asteroid belt has been almost completely mined to oblivion. A suspicious-looking hollow asteroid, a few barren rocks are all that remain of this once densely packed belt. Okay. Oh gosh. Oh, a little nice little destroyed asteroid base. Okay, so let's go ahead and lock on. We only need to press F1 since we have all the weapons. If you press here, it groups all the weapons. So pretty much all we need to do is that. Now we could actually, hold on, keep it range, 20 kilometers. Actually, we have that set as our default, don't we? So let's go ahead and lock on, and then F1. And also, lock on to them. And start firing on our next target, the ex-employee. Oh, he's actually 40 kilometers away. Oh, hold on, I'm not going toward him. Approach. Let's stop firing. We're way too far. Our max range is 31. Now, a salvager would not be a terrible idea, but I wouldn't bring a salvager unless you're on something like a destroyer, where you have access to more weapons. It's not going to be that big a deal. When you have one of your weapons replaced by a salvaging tool, because it will replace one of your high slots, and that's valuable firepower. Like how it's the ex-employee. Okay, doke. And he had something on him, which is nice. So let's go ahead and set destination to the disgruntled employee. And was that all we had? I don't. Yeah. So it's kind of easy. Kind of easy. You have some ship restrictions for some missions though. So that was a very easy one. So as you can see, much different than the missions we were doing before, but at the same time, very similar. Similar in the fact that if you do the common missions, they pretty much go destroy this thing here. Now we could have done some salvaging, which could have been fun, but we didn't need to. Let's turn on our engine. Oh, just metal scraps. Okay, now let's go ahead and warp within 0 of the Archeo gate.
Warp drive active.
Actually, I'm thinking if we do another mission, because we're gonna probably spin this mission because this is kind of our security character. So we're gonna do some sample. So we're gonna do a good amount of security missions. For at least most of this episode, just kind of show them off. But for now, sometimes you can get missions that will explicitly really ruin reputation of a certain faction. So just be very careful. Sometimes you might not, if you're just going through randomly or just pressing this, going and accepting every one, you might have one that really like makes you fight Galente or something like that, and really make it hard to kind of rebuild your reputation without going all the way into Galente space and really trying to kind of appease them, to say the very least. But generally, if you go back and forth between two dire enemies, you'll kind of maintain a balance, because the allies are going to kind of not move too far in any direction.
Docking permission requested.
And once we get this mission done, I can show you what I mean by our reputation. Now that doesn't give us a lot of loyalty points, as you see. You see 36. That loyalty, if you remember on the loyalty point store, we're looking for like 400 is for the smallest thing, and you can get up to like 30,000 loyalty points plus currency. These are also plus currency, so that's plus 100 million, plus 100 million. So consider that. So we got and added to our balance, our loyalty point balance. Oh, that's military stockpile. Excuse me. Here's been some like Light Eye Corporation. This was with the This was the state. We have no loyalty points with the state military stockpile. We do have points with Light Eye, which have a lot of options here, which you can get the Raven Navy issue at the end, Caracol Navy issue, Drake Navy issue, and for free actually, which is actually pretty nice. But you do have some required items, which is the ship. You already need the ship and then 2 Nexus chips, which might be able to, which as far as I can tell, I don't think that I'm not sure if they can give you the Nexus chip. I have to check. They might be able to give you the Nexus chip. Either way, let's go ahead and get another mission under our belt. But this time, we're going to try to show you with the Cormorant and show you what I mean with some salvage too. So let's go ahead, switch over. So, ship hangar, Cormorant, assemble the ship, make active. Now we don't have as much currency right now to deck this one out as much, but we can kind of fill our slots as best as we can. So let's go ahead and go on a little bit of a search here. So we want to find initially turrets. If we can find turrets being made in this area at least. So they're still small. Still small railguns. You want it at 150 millimeter if you want to do long range. Anything 150 millimeter. Um, and then you can kind of work off based off your budget and what kind of preferences you have. Some people are really trying to undercut the market here. Could also jump up to railgun 2s. That is obscenely priced considering where we're sitting at right now. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to go for the base railguns because we just want to have something filling the slot. That's all this one is about. Actually, do they not have any here? Okay, we'll have to go for something else. They might not actually have anything here. Oh, they might not. Yeah, I don't think they have any hybrid turrets here. Or any railguns, at least. How about blasters? Do they have any blasters? No. If someone is selling 29 light ion blasters here for some reason. Okay, so where were they selling those hybrid turrets? So small, 151 railgun. They're selling them. We're gonna buy that. Where is it? Ocvanius. Okay, they're just selling in Ocvanius. So let's do that. Is that the best price? Pretty much. So how many slots do we need to fill? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we could have one missile. We could have one launcher hardpoint, and we have 7 turret hardpoints. So, and one launcher hardpoint. So, what we want to do, and the total slots is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So total slots of 8. So you could fill it all up, or have one be a salvager, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do 6 turrets and 1 light launcher, which I think we actually already have a light launcher. So I'm going to go with 6. Buy remotely, yep. We'll just go pick it up. Now, light launcher, we might already have. Light, missile, launcher, but I think we put it on our ship. Okay, the closest light missile launcher is not near at all. So we gotta hope that we might have to take it off the Heron, or check in our inventory if we had any. Are we lucky? We do have do have some light missile launchers, so perfect. So there we go. I can move that here. Put that here so I can put the salvager here. That's a civilian salvager, so I want to see if I can find a salvager here. A salvager 1. So jumps. Ocvanius. Okay, so we'll buy that because that's going to be where we're going. So we're going to buy a salvager 1, buy remotely. All of it's overpriced, but this is mostly, again, just to help you guys kind of learn. So we're going to throw on some ammunition. We might want to split the Merlin's ammunition in half and take half. Which, if I remember how to do that, divide stack, set quantity between, we'll say we want 5,000 since we have a few more weapons on our ship. So we'll take that. And then move those those metal scraps into the item hanger. We'll take some Scourge missiles since we're going to need those. Let's stack them. Our civilian Scourge. Let's do stack all real quick. Anything else we need to take? I think for the most part we're okay. I mean, we do want some shield extenders, things like that, since we don't have a lot of the other stuff all worked out yet. We want a small shield extender. We also want, hold on, a shield. Do we have a shield? We could just rip it off the other one, but I want to actually have a unique one for each one, so we don't have to keep worrying about that. Shield recharger would be fun. So we'll do a shield extender, a shield recharger, and then a shield booster. How about that? If we can buy a shield booster. Shield. Oops, misspelled shield. Booster. Small one. Small shield booster. Archvanius. Okay, we'll buy that there. Okay, so Archvanius is just sitting with all our stuff. So let's hope nothing happens in between now and... Well, even if it did, all our stuff's pretty much worked out. Over there, so nothing to worry about regarding that. We can't throw in an after... Well, I don't really care about the afterburners, to be honest. They can be helpful, but I've never really cared too much about them. Now, if I remember correctly, that lowers our cargo capacity. I forgot what our cargo capacity is at the moment. If we are salvaging, we might as well have some cargo capacity. I don't quite remember how much it does, though. This would actually increase our movement. The overdrive injector. Now, it's not going to help us basically move warp any faster, but it will help other things. Someone's main power core providing more power. I don't like that one. I like the sign of that one. Micro ancillary power core. You know, I'm gonna not worry about that though. I don't want to lose it. I haven't messed around with power cores too much. We do actually already have one railgun, but I'll leave it. We'll just pick up all the railguns there. That way, if something does weirdly happen in between now and then, we limit our losses too. Small civilian shield booster. Again, not worried because we'll just pick up the shield booster there. Alright, looks like that's everything we need really from here. So let's go ahead, arm our one rocket. And I'm not going to actually put any rigging on this one yet. I'm going to try to show you kind of an unrigged ship doing some of these missions. So let's go ahead and go to Archvanius. Hopefully I'm not butchering that name. I have a bad feeling that we're butchering that name. Now, Salvager, you'll see kind of how it functions in a bit. So let's set destination. Open 0.
Warp drive active.
But we haven't done really any story games other than the kind of story that we're doing, like that we've been doing. We've done a lot more story in the Kinchi game, the Kinchi playthrough we've done. And this one's been kind of relaxing, kind of enjoying, kind of a otherwise slower kind of pace of game. And once you get to like corporations, it can be pretty fast paced. And they have some pretty crazy wars that go on. But once you start getting into corporations, it's fairly relaxing. Otherwise. Go ahead and jump. But it would be neat to do. I know that the Star Wars The Old Republic MMO has kind of like stories and companions. So if that sounds like something that we could incorporate sometime during the week, I'm going to plan over the weekend. I'm going to take this weekend to kind of plan out what kind of new content we can kind of get onto the schedule, and maybe even have kind of like a little planned schedule of what we do in the week and everything like that. Because right now we kind of like a verbal schedule.
Docking
Let's go in
permission
there.
requested. Docking request accepted.
But we've done survivalist. We've done all kinds of games. We've done survivalist. We've done Kinchi. We've done this game. We've done a few games way in the past too. I did a lot more. I did a lot in the past too, but recently we've done a lot of sandbox. I want to stick with sandbox, but I want to make sure that if we do transition to something with more story, that we can keep some sandbox elements. And MMOs, and believe it or not, kind of feel a little bit sandboxy at times. Ooh, oh, let's throw that civilian salvager inside our inventory. And throw the shield on. Our inventory didn't get taken out too much, right? Kinda. Should be able to carry everything we salvage. We're actually, yeah, if we do turn it on though, if we do turn that on though, we'll have some power depletion issues. Let's go ahead and load our guns too. Our real guns. Now, as you can see, we have all but one of the turret hard points filled, and we do have the launcher hard point filled. That's just because we have the missile launcher. And, well, we have the missile launcher, but we also have the salvager taking up a position. So that's where that comes in. And since all these are the same weapon, we're gonna all be able to group them up. All right, so let's go ahead and undock. Head back home to get another to get another mission. Because with this other mission, we're going to be able to kind of just sit back and be relaxed and shoot from a crazy far distance. Missiles are really long ranged. Set destination. In fact, actually, we've gotten everything from the Archivanius now, so I don't think we'll have to be back here unless we buy another thing from here. Oh, okay. Warp within 0.
Warp drive active.
Now let's go ahead and group up these weapons real quick. And also, if you want to find out what the different keys are, so as you can see, it's F3, Alt, F3, and this. Here, let me move this a little bit over here so you can see. So this would be F3, Alt F3, and Control F3. So nothing, Alt, Control. Good thing to keep in mind. But destroyers is what I would recommend if you're starting out and you're want to do like security missions, or wanting to do just wanting to kind of fight or do anything like that. I'd recommend destroyers. If you can afford to lose a destroyer. If you can't afford to lose the destroyer, stick with frigates. Because then, if you lose a frigate, it's not the end of the world. But if you can afford to lose a destroyer, like if you once you've reached the point to where you can make destroyers fairly, with some and be able to use, and you play enough that you are able to turn a profit, or you can play efficient enough that you're able to turn a profit on the use of that destroyer. Then use the destroyer. But if you can't, if you're always turning a negative,
Docking request accepted.
I guess as soon as you get a destroyer out there and you run out there and it gets destroyed the first time you try to do a mission and you get a net negative, stick with the cheaper ships. 100% for sure. Okay, let's drop the salvager, the item hanger. And actually, let's go ahead and actually fit that other. I don't think we're going to need that much space. I might even do micro auxiliary power core. Offline, to bring the power online requires 15 CPU. But only we're just short. We're just shy. No, it doesn't use any CPU. All right, so let's go ahead and see if we can drag that overdrive injector, just so we have some speed. We're not totally slow. Capacitor transmitter could be fun too, but it's a weapon. So capacitor transmitter is basically you kind of suck the power out of them, and you kind of equalize your power between the two of you. So transfer capacitor energy to another ship. So that one would be useful if you use a lot of power and you want to use blasters, just because blasters you have to get close, and I think that you have to get close if I remember with these. I don't remember how far their range could be. Could be wrong. No, yeah, they're real close. So you're gonna need to use a really close weapon or projectile if you're doing a different faction or whichever faction you're doing. I think Amar specializes in those. I want to say. I'm not entirely sure. If it's Caldari, I could probably tell you a lot about it. The other ones I'm not entirely 100% familiar with. So let's go ahead and get another mission. Okay, so this is now remember when I said about attacking other factions? If we do this, we're actually going to attack Galente. Approach or investigate any large objects you see. I believe that we're going to attack Galente here. So let's check how our relations are doing with Galente right now. So our derived modification has been going down. Now derived modification is nothing like actual combat modification. Actual combat modification is going to be a big problem. Now as you can see, I think that most recent mission did nothing against our reputation. Now we could deny this mission. But if we deny again, we're going to lose reputation. So I want to just show you kind of how that reputation system works a little bit. So we'll go ahead and accept it. Because Galente space is pretty close to Caldari space, so it won't be entirely impossible to fix the damage we've done. And we really shouldn't get to. We'll probably be limited to level 1. We're gonna be limited to level 1 mission givers, but that's not a problem at all. Anyway. So warp to location. Good thing is we don't have to actually go through any gates. Because right now we're sitting at, if I remember correctly, we're sitting a little, not quite, so limited to level 1 agents belonging to Galente, regardless of derived standings. So, like, you'll see when we get there. We might get there. I'm not in one mission, but if we don't repair our relations and we do anything for the actual Caldari. Okay, let's go ahead and investigate the Stargate. Approach to Galente Stargate. Oh, actually down over here, that's it, right? Partly constructed Megathron. That sounds intimidating. Oh, that's it. Approach. Keep thinking that looks more like kind of how the Caldari one looks. Too close to warp 2 though, so we pretty much just gonna have to drive, drive the old-fashioned way. I really like the look of the Comrade though. It's it's a really nice looking one. Now there is a bit of a problem if you think of it logistically. If this turret tried to shoot directly straight, you'd need to come at an angle of attack kind of like this, actually, believe it or not. But the target would have to be kind of, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but you see where that agent missions thing? You would want them to be kind of around that undue attention level, because then you could shoot at all at a, in a real situation. This is, it's a game, so you don't have to worry about it, but in a real life situation, if you had all your weapons sitting parallel and on the top of your vehicle, in order to shoot and see, if assuming you're sitting somewhere in here, you need to do that. Now, pods are a little bit different. They basically, I guess I would argue it's a lot more like, whoa, hold on. No, cancel. I encountered, hold on. Oh, I don't need to do that. I actually don't need to fight them anyway. Read details. Alright, so let's go ahead and dock.
Docking permission requested.
So really that was just a scouting one. They only had us do like a little scout mission. Which is kind of funny because we probably came in a little bit heavily armed for a scout mission. But since we avoided combat, that actually is not a bad thing. Albeit the salvager did end up getting kind of displayed. Cool. Let's check our standings. Let's check how our derived standings and standings have gone. Actually, they didn't actually get affected. Because these are still old delay. What do you call it? Derived modifications. So we got out of that without having any modification loss. I'm happy about that. Okay, go ahead and close that. Or at least it's not told us yet. All right, so we don't have enough time, I guess, for another mission. So we're gonna go ahead and head out now. Thank you for watching, by the way. I hope you enjoyed. Again, we'll try to see about overworking. I'm gonna probably work on this weekend a schedule for how maybe we may adjust throughout the weeks. So I definitely know we're keeping Kinchi. I'm gonna probably keep Eve if I can, every week. If not, I might switch it to every other week. And I might add. But I might take one. I may take an alternating schedule, just to kind of test the waters to see if you guys want more. Because I know if you guys want more of just games like Kinchi, or we want some more games like MMOs and stuff like that. Because I enjoy sandbox games, and I've had some really great MMOs in my history of playing. So generally, I like making my own story. I like going to a game and kind of making my own journey. I think that's one of the greatest things about video games that you're able to do, is kind of go in and make your own story and enjoy it. You can watch a story in a movie. A little bit of a hot take, I guess, because I know some people really love narrative video games. But if I can kind of really showcase a lot of the sandbox games out there, I typically stick toward indie, but then something like other ones could be fun as well, because we've done already a few indie sandboxes. But we'll see. We'll see what comes up. All right, so thank you guys for watching. Have a good one, and see you guys later. All right, bye.